Hey everybody, Brandon Jones here from GameTrailers.com. Obviously, I'm joined by Mr. Kyle Bossman and Andrea Renee. We are at the show floor at PAX, just about to wrap up the third day. We have played an exorbitant amount of games, and we're just going to talk about a couple because we're going to be continuing our coverage of PAX through the week. But we're here, and I want to talk about the games that really stood out, that might not get a lot of love at the show. I'm going to kick it off with Darkest Dungeon. I've been following the game a little bit, and I sat down and talked to the guys, and I loved absolutely everything they had to say about this game. So it's gothic, it's side-scrolling just in presentation, but it's a randomly generated game where you're going through dungeons. It's like Dark Souls, where it's like things are not going to work out well. And usually I get really stressed out when I play games like that, but I love the art and the aesthetic of the game. And every single system in the game seems to play off another one, where like, there seemed to be like a but in every sentence. He was like, you can do this, but if you do it too much, it'll backfire. Or you need to have this item in your inventory if you want to keep doing it. And so I thought that was really interesting, and I usually hate those kind of games. I don't want to like stress myself out playing games, but that sounded like a lot of fun. And Kyle, you and I played Speedrunners, which is right over there, and I had not heard of this game. This game is on Steam right now, and it's going to launch on consoles in the next year, I think in 2015. And that game played really well. Do you like that one?
Yeah, Speedrunners is great.
It's a great game to show at PAX because you can just jump up and grab a controller. Like usually when you play like Lego or something, you at least have to hit a button or like hit the, drop out. I was playing Broforce, and you have to like manually drop out.
So I can log in, back out, and let me get my profile. None of that.
Yeah, you just put the controller down and the game keeps going. So you're just looping around this area, and it doesn't matter how well you know that map. You just try to get to you try to basically get everybody off the screen. So you try to go so fast that everybody can't keep up with you. And I could not stop playing it. And I found myself so many times walking by it and like, okay, 5 minutes. I'll just pick up a controller. And that was really great. And again, I thought a really fun game to show at a con like this.
Wait, did you play it again?
Oh, I played it like 2 or 3 more times. I couldn't help it. I almost played it here.
That's cheating.
No,
Cheating?
That's the beauty of PAX, being able to go up and play games all weekend long and really get a sense for what the game mechanics are. So often, as media at events like this, we get such a small snippet of a game, it's hard to really get a grasp of it. And at PAX, that's not the case.
So what did you dig?
Well, I dug a new little game that Harmonix announced here at the show called A City Sleeps. Now, it's coming to PC. It's not a console game. I know they're very well known for their Kinect and peripheral games at Harmonix, but it's really interesting. They're calling it a bullet shooter. You play as this character, and she is a dream walker of some kind, and she has to go into the dreams of all of the residents of the city to find out why everyone is asleep. And so essentially she has to go in and like fight these demons and things inside people's dreams. And it's a twin-stick shooter, 2D game, and so she's her gun or whatever shoots on the beat. So there's different musical elements that are incorporated into it, and visually there's just a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, very colorful.
On screen at the same time. It sometimes is a little difficult to keep track of what's happening, and brutally difficult, like really, really challenging. Even on the easy level, I was playing on easy, and it was really a struggle for me. And one of the devs on the team was talking to me about how he wanted to make it really extremely difficult and really hard and punishing because a lot of players are looking for that experience now.
Yeah.
I'm like, I personally am not. I like it to be a little on the easy side, but I think visually it looked really cool.
What else?
What else? Well,
Game number 2.
Yeah, so I also got to finally get hands-on time with Tales from the Borderlands here at PAX. They've been tweeting a lot all weekend. We first saw it back at E3 earlier this summer. And I have to say, as much as I'm a fan of Telltale, and as much as I'm a fan of Borderlands and Gearbox, the jury's out for me on this one. I don't know. I walked away from it a little disappointed. The writing wasn't quite snappy enough that I wanted it to be for a Borderlands title. There's just not any action. There was one action sequence, and I know Telltale gets knocked for that quite a bit. And in the more serious titles like The Walking Dead or Wolf Among Us, having just a point-and-click adventure with really awesome, deep, dark storytelling works. But in the world of Borderlands, I don't think it works. So I walked away really conflicted because I love both of those sides of the coin, and this one I was just like,
Mr. Bosman, what did you dig?
What I dug was a game called Chariot.
Great game.
Chariot's a game where 2 players are trying to drag this chariot with them with rope. And so like you hook the chariot with your ropes and you tug on it together. What I like about this game is that it's like actual co-op. A lot of co-op games, at least like that are platformers, is just like, okay, let me get this, sit on this lever so that opens the door so you can go through and then you can let me through. That's what most co-op is. This is a game that's constantly co-op because you're both trying to get this chariot together. And another thing I really like about this game is that the story makes all of this make sense, right? I just explained a game where there's like two people who are trying to carry this with rope. It's the princess and her fiance carrying the king, the dead father. It's a casket. The chariot's a casket. And what I love about that is making a story where everything you're doing suddenly makes sense and matters. So now those two people trying to get this chariot going, it makes sense for them to be doing this.
Yeah.
Because that's her dead dad, you know what I mean? And so to me that totally works. I really, really like that game. Another one was Wander. And Wander is a game where just in the PAX demo, you are a giant tree being. You know, you have legs and you just walk very slow. And I watched so many people walk up to this demo, like walk around for a second and just like. And so I admire Wander's bravery in bringing a giant slow tree demo to PAX. And this game sounds crazy. You're on an island and you can transform into other creatures eventually, like a griffin is like the last one you get to be. But you share a map with your buddies. And so I can mark things on the map and say, hey, there's a boulder here that the tree could move. And then like you can go into your map and you can see that note I left for you. And it's like, that's it, you know what I mean? There's no other things they won't mark that map for you. We have to mark it for ourselves. And so I really like that kind of aspect of that game.
A lot of great co-op and competitive creativity here. You know, a lot of games where like, you know, it's not just a mode or like a little fun option that you can do in the game. Like the whole game is built around, you know, like how you access it and how you separate teams and how you play. So those were 6 games, 2 from each of us that we thought were special and thought were worth mentioning from the show floor. Obviously, there is a ton of stuff here. We're going to be doing reports all through the week, as well as when we add everything up and figure out the games that we didn't talk about, we'll do one final video to make sure that every game that is worth talking about from PAX gets talked about. Thank you so much, guys, for running around PAX with me and checking stuff out. I had a really good time. Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm so glad I was able to come, and we participated on a couple different panels here, which you guys can check out on the Twitch archives. You know, we did our massive Q&A, which was really awesome, and I got to participate in the Gauntlet Celebrity Tournament, and I won my semifinal round, going on to the finals tomorrow.
Congratulations, fingers crossed.
Yeah,
will we know the result by the time this video posts?
Yes, you will.
And what you will
hopefully
not,
I'm the winner.
What you will not know is the result. Kyle and I competed with Screw Attack with Nintendo World Championship. Was that the name?
Yeah. 1990.
Yeah. And that was intense. And you can check those videos on Screw Attack. We will definitely send those your way. And much more to come. We're going to have tons of PAX coverage for you to watch this week. The show is almost over here, but there is much more to celebrate here in Game Trailers. Thank you guys for watching. See you soon.